Flight boss, bitch. You know, for sure. You're not listening to the Mind of an Antares Moon, Dolo the Archangel Uriel, and Flight boss here to carry out God duties and motherfucking responsibilities. And right now I want to talk about the importance of being yourself using astrology. Now, this is important, right? Because, you know, being yourself and by utilizing astrology, like knowing each planet and knowing your energetic forces, it has saved a lot of experiences of you being mad and upset at your parents, or you being mad and upset at your siblings, or if you have children, you trying to correct or discipline your children in certain ways. Because here's what you have to understand, right? Letting your child know who they are and you actually knowing who you are, right? You're going to end up running into certain circumstances and situations that you'll realize if you didn't know who you was, this'll be the road that you end up playing out. You'll realize if you didn't know what kind of energies your child held or what kind of energy your parents held, then you'll be seeing mistakes, or you'll be seeing certain issues that the everyday common human run into that they don't necessarily have to run into based upon if they knew their actual energies. Because here's how this play out, right? You may have been a child, right? And you may have grew up under parents that's just been hard on you. Like, and they put so much responsibility on for you to do this, for you to do that. Even when you got certain situations where you have people born into rich families and the child go to reach a certain age where they take over the parents' business. But see, these be the same people who kill themselves. Like, it doesn't matter. There's no gift and curse. Don't ever think someone is more blessed than you because they got more money than you or something like that. That's, once you get into that realm of reality, you give your power to something external that's not even the actual energy that you should be giving your power to, that represent that. You see what I'm saying? Like, that represent prosperity, that represents blessings and things of that nature. You have a misconcept. So don't ever think when you meet someone or you are consciously aware of someone who has more than you, don't ever think that this person came into this world with more access than you. You see what I'm saying? It's just your access and your pattern may be different than that person. But it's truly nothing different. It's just what you choose to give your power to. So don't ever, like me, I don't care if I never become super rich or anything like that. I feel like I'm the richest person in the world. Can't nobody tell me I ain't a millionaire. Can't nobody tell me I ain't a billionaire. You see what I'm saying? Now, people want to argue and get into ways, shapes, and forms of how being a millionaire and how being a billionaire look in this realm of reality. I don't agree to none of those terms and conditions. You know what I'm saying? So, by that being said, you may look at me as a person who may be like, oh, he just don't care about money or this, that, and the third. Nah, that's not the issue. My intent is different, right? So, in some way, shape, and form, just universal law, I have no choice but to experience being a millionaire in some way, shape, or form. It has to happen. That's what you have to understand. It's all about your perception. It's all about what you can imagine and what you can cling on to, and knowing how to look through the filters that's in front of you. And the filters is things that come into the light into different ways, shapes, and forms, and it may play out through certain people, places, and things to make you think that you need that. But really what you actually need be through that. That just be the illusion placed in front of you to see if you want to get lost into that illusion or not. But what you really need is the energy that actually came from. And the people, places, and things and the shapes and forms that come in front of you is just signs that for the universe or God to know, you see what I'm saying, what you can actually handle or not. So what you actually want might be right in front of your face, but you won't see it based upon the people, places, and things you're around and what they direct your conscious awareness towards. So you have to be careful with that. But see, all this is relevant, because what happens here is you may have grown up under parents and things of that nature, and they pressure you so much to stay on task. But here's what happens. See, we just sliding out of the age of Pisces and things of that nature. So, you know, a lot of parents is not into things the way they should be. And if they are into astrology, it only goes past the newspaper. So when they go on placing all this energy and responsibility on their child, what they fail to realize is you're placing your own energetic force on your child. And if you're a parent, right, Or if you are the child and you're watching this and your parent is an air sign, and we're talking about the sun right now, and your parent is an air sign, and then you are a freaking water sign, then it doesn't matter what your parent try to make you consciously aware of. You're not going to be able to jump in that element so fast like your parent. See, this is why it's important for everyone to know astrology and to know themselves and to be themselves. Because if the parent knew that, the parent would know that, okay, this is not good to get to put my child into some type of logical thing or some type of spelling class or something like that. It's important to put my child into the music class or band class or something like that, because my child is a water sign. I'm an air sign. So I know that I'm not an air sign, but I'm speaking if the parents knew this. You know what I'm saying? Then I know that my child is not going to be so calmly and so ready to get into academics and get into things like that. My child is going to be ready to express themselves more into music and more into things of that nature. So let me go get my child an instrument and put my child in band class. Then you save the experience of your child coming home because they got into a fight, or coming home with bad grades because you put them in a class that they didn't necessarily resonate with, or them coming home not feeling motivated to go to school. And see, everything is energetic forces. Everything is energetic energies. And if it's not about being motivated or not, it's about being in the energy of motivation. So you could tell your child you have to be motivated every day. But if your child wake up in the energy of being not motivated, then when they go to school, they're not going to be able to receive any situations or any information from that motivational frequency, because they're not in that frequency. So yeah, you force them to go to school, so they got on their mind that they need to be motivated, but when they get there, they're not in the motivated energy. You see what I'm saying? So it goes deeper in many different levels. It's all about perception. And also, like, for a parent or for siblings and things of that nature. You may got older brothers and sisters, or you may got younger brothers and sisters, and you may just dislike them, or if you don't dislike them, you may try to control them and be like, no, you should do things this way, and see. And this is important too. Say like you're an older brother or you're an older sister, and you have a younger sister, younger brother, younger cousin or somebody, and they come to you for advice. This is why it's important and it's your responsibility for you to know yourself, because they may come to you, or you may be an uncle or aunt or whatever, and you may have a family member or a friend come to you for advice because they're going through a situation. Now, the situation that they're going through may be similar to the situation that you have gone through, right? But you have to understand, knowing yourself, you automatically understand that the way you went about that situation was the way your elements was brought upon. You see what I'm saying? So if you come across someone else and you are unaware of the elements or the energies that's going on, then you're going to be sitting here giving someone some advice. And if you're an elder to them, this person is going to be taking your advice as with some justice to it. You see what I'm saying? They're going to be taking this advice with some merit to it, like it actually works. And the advice you give is going to be as far as how you're consciously aware of seeing it. So you're going to be telling them this, that, and the third. Now, if the situation doesn't play out or work for them the same way it worked for you, you can't go around blaming them like they didn't do something right. They might have went about it. They could have went from point A to point B the way you explained it to them. But their energy, their element is different. So they went about, so it's almost like, say that this sibling right here I'm speaking of, say it's an earth sign, and they're telling their younger sibling that how to go about a certain situation, and their younger sibling is a fire sign. Then what happens here is the younger sibling, like, the advice could have been 100% good, but the fire sign is going to go about the situation in an earth way. You see what I'm saying? In an earth way. If the older sibling who was giving the advice, if there was an earth sign, the younger sibling is going to take that advice, because the older sibling is going to experience this already. They feel like they already did this and it already worked or didn't work. So it's good advice no matter what. But see, this is the things that we don't understand. And this goes back to why it's important to be yourself by knowing astrology. Because by both of them not not correlating or not adding in the astrological energies of knowing each other. They just being naive to that and just living life. What happens is the younger sibling, as a fire sign, goes and do that situation or circumstance in the earth way, because they got that advice from their older sibling, and their older sibling was earth. So when the fire sign go about the situation, right, in the earth way, the situation and the outcome doesn't play out in the same circumstance, because the element that the fire was going about it in was in a way non-relative to its energy. So the energy and the friction that it receives from the external, from the situation, person, place, or thing, is going to be mixed in differently. So the outcome is going to be mixed out differently. You see what I'm saying? So the younger sibling has a possibility of experiencing a more harsher situation than the actual earth person, because the actual earth person handled the situation the best to their ability. You see what I'm saying? So this is why it's important for everyone to actually know themselves using astrology, because once you know yourself, you automatically going to know what advice is good and what advice is not. If you got parents trying to tell you certain things and this, that, and the third, you automatically gonna have discernment. You automatically gonna have the idea pop in your mind like, okay, wait a minute, that might have worked for you, but that won't necessarily work for me. You see what I'm saying? So you will know what to take from the idea that can be correct for you and what to leave alone, for you don't have to experience that. You see what I'm saying? So this is why it's important. So if you have parents right now, tell them that even if they don't want to hear it, just baby feed them every day. Every day. You might be around one of your parents, right? And they may do certain things and may be like, I don't know why I do this. That's your opportunity right there to be like, oh, you probably got Pisces in this, or you probably got the moon. And if you got parents, I'm pretty sure you already have a sense of where they plan this at already. So, boom, that's your opportunity to baby feed them and slide them right into them being aware of what's actually going on. Then you could eventually start teaching your parents and your older siblings things, as far as your uncles and your aunts and things. And as far as your younger siblings, or if you have children yourself, it's important. Now, you automatically going to know what to put your child in and what not to put your child in. You automatically going to know what kind of conversations to have with your siblings and what not to have. You automatically going to know what kind of friends to do certain things with and what kind of friends to not do certain things with. Because once you start mixing the elements that don't necessarily need to be mixed at the time, the outcome, you're going to end up experiencing an outcome that doesn't necessarily need to be experienced at the time. So, learn how to be yourself by using astrology. And this is one of the most important things in the whole wide world. Flake boss, bitch. Goddamn.